name's Melissa Bannerman. I'm from Balloch and I live in Scotland, and I've been playing field hockey for about 10 years now. I started off playing for my high school, which is called Women's School in Helensburgh, and then I played for Lochland Ladies for a couple of years, and then I joined Clydesdale Western and played with them for a couple of years, and now I have my scholarship in America. My main reasons for doing my field hockey scholarship were that I was the first in my family to do university, and obviously with the field hockey and sports being so big in America, I wanted to try and get the balance of both of it and have the feel for being a student athlete and doing university at the same time. At first my family were really excited for me and they were really happy because, like I said, I was the first child to go to university, and obviously being in America to study is like a big deal when it comes to sports and being away from home. But yeah, they were really excited and really happy for me, and they gave me really good support as well, so it's been good. The reason I chose Hendrix College is because when I was in America, I was lucky enough to go tour and look at all the different other colleges, and then when I got to Hendrix, I just had to feel for Hendrix. They had an amazing sports facility, I engaged with all the coaches, and I just felt my opportunities there were going to be a lot better for me than my other offers. My first impressions on campus and sports facilities were breathtaking. Like, they were absolutely amazing, like so much bigger and better, like what you would usually see in the UK. And I just felt that made my option easier to go there because I had like the choice to have the big field hockey pitch, and you've got the track team and the gyms, and everything was just so much bigger and better, and I just knew that this was right for me. So moved from the UK to the US, at first we thought it was going to be very scary considering it's a really big move, but with the help of First Point we managed to get through my visa applications, and I spoke to athletes already out there and like things, for example, like what they took with them clothing wise, and even to prioritise like your sports gear and what to take with you. But like I said, First Point made the process really easy and stress free for us, so we're really thankful to have them to help us through, which is good. Balancing your sport and education, at the start it was very challenging considering the fact I spent a year in Glasgow doing education. So going out there I had to consider training, getting up early, eating properly, and that was very hard to begin with. But when you get to routine and have set timetables of training, you get more of a rough idea of what they expect from you rather than what you have to give them. But at the same time, you just have to make sure that you have the correct balance. Because for me, being at Hendrix, it's not all about the sports, it's the education as well. Like, you have to have a certain grades in order to have your eligibility to play. So I feel when you're first there, you just really need to make sure that you've got your head down when it comes to academics and being a student athlete. So my highlights of being in the States so far have to be the fact that I'm so young, I'm only 19, and I've got the opportunity to make new friends, new families. I'm thankful enough at Hendrix that I have a host family, and I see them on usually every occasion, like Thanksgiving, and you can experience different cultures. And for example, my roommate, she's Australian, so I get to meet like different people from different cultures, and it's just the opportunities are just amazing. Like, they're so much bigger, and I just feel there's more there for me in America than there is here. So a typical day at Hendrix for me would be up in the mornings with training, and then we'd have breakfast, and then we'd have classes from about 9:30 till 12, then you have lunch, and then you'd have an afternoon class, and then sometimes you'd have training again, but it just depends if you're in season with your sport or not. But a day at Hendrix is usually pretty fun, quite chilled, and there's lots to do on campus, so you can always like meet new people if you don't have hockey, or you can go to the gym and you can go explore. There's little hill walk tracks beside us as well, so yeah, it's pretty good fun. At the moment, my social life, being there at Open before Christmas, being in season, it has been very difficult because you've had to balance the sports and your education. So I feel like my social life hasn't been that interesting or fun because I've either been studying or training or at the gym, but I feel that there are things to do, like you can go play mini golf, you can go to the cinema, and I feel like after like Christmas I won't be in season, so I can spend a lot of time doing these other things, exploring America, like exploring Conway, where I live in Arkansas, things like that. But I just feel when you're in season you really need to focus on being an athlete and giving everything you can to show that you're worthwhile being there. advice I would give someone that was doing field hockey, well not field hockey, but a sports scholarship in general, would be to really research and look to where you want to go in America, like locations and what type of school you want to go to, if it's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and really just the fact that you have the great education and the great chance of being a student athlete both in front of you, and it's just a case of putting them together. But yeah, definitely see your opportunities, research, and just look for what's best for you.